Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 24 of our Interplanetary Voyage, and today we are all about Karborundrum. Yes, that's right, an experimental, highly efficient fuel that is extremely hard to get. Let's just recap. The only two ways of obtaining Karborundrum is actually if you harvest it from the low orbit of the Sun, or alternatively if you mine it from the surface of Eeloo. I mean, carbonite is everywhere, and Karborundrum is like a specific isotope or specific version of the fuel. Its qualities are extremely high delta V, and as you can see here, my delta V on this Karborundrum tanker is 150,000 meters per second. With a thrust to weight of, I don't believe it's like 50, it says 800, but I don't believe that's the case. I believe it's more like around 8 or something. So it is, okay, thrust to weight surface says 0.05, okay. But my point is, it has decent thrust to weight, provided that you keep it fueled by the nuclear reactors or big solar panels, whatever. But it has a very, very good fuel efficiency, and that's why it's like our interstellar fuel that we will be using for most of our missions. That's why we are mining it, and that's why we are, well, not mining, collecting. So let's call this guy Collector 1. And its mission for today is return to Kerbin, dock with the Kerbin Refuelling station, which, if you remember, has Karborundrum tanks, and then eject back to the surface or to the Sun low orbit for gathering some more. That's the plan anyway. So, without further ado, we have positioned ourselves for the maneuver prograde and executing the maneuver, so let us now enjoy in somewhat time acceleration as the Kerbin slowly shows up behind our Karborundrum tanker, and there is a light glimpse of Minmus passing by and Moon as we approach Kerbin. Okay, we are closing up and we are stopping already. Why? It seems that our planned maneuver should be lasting 22 minutes? I think my thrust to weight should be a lot greater than that. You know what? I don't believe this because I have a feeling that I might be thrust limited. So let's kill this maneuver node. And let's create a new one just to see if it was the problem with the maneuver node getting, the Kraken's Bane, or no, it seems still that it's, so if I burn more, I will even pass the, yes, I will pass the burn time. Yeah, I don't think that should be the case. So let's do the following. Let us reduce it even further and then just change basically the thrust limiter on the engine, because that was what was the problem all along. Okay, beautiful screenshot as we come close by to Kerbin. I don't know yet which screenshot I will use for this episode, because I take multiple candidates during the mission, and then one of them will ultimately become the screenshot of the episode. So our maneuver node is now in 2 minutes, and as you can see, our thrust to weight is around 3.50. So that's kind of the thrust to weight that you can expect with your craft, and I think it's amazing given the delta V that it's giving. So that is why we have chosen to go with Karborundrum as our fuel of choice. And we have the burn in 4, 3, 2, 1, and burning. Also, we have a little bit of wobble, and I do blame the too much thrust vectoring on the engine. So just think of it as positive nodding. Yes, 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 I'm coming to Kerbin. So what else can you think of? But, okay, so 700 meters per second to burn, estimated burn time 60 seconds, so it won't be very long, but the good thing is that we will be in elliptical orbit, which will then help us set up the both orbital inclination and to correct our ascending and descending node to be well aligned with the Kerbin Refuelling station. Note, we will not dock this guy to Kerbin Refuelling station because it's not balanced and it's a little bit cumbersome, so I will definitely not be doing that. But what I will be doing, I will bring it close by and I will bring it to roughly 0 velocity compared to the actual station. And then I will detach the Karborundrum fuel tank that had a tug, if you remember, and I will use that one to basically connect with this one or dock with this guy and get the Karborundrum and then redock back to the space station. That's my plan anyway. So that would basically, hopefully, complete our phase 1. Oh, look at this. We are burning normal. Normal prograde, that is. And this almost looks like a satellite if you look at it from this perspective. I find it looking kind of cool. Okay. Our burn is coming up and it's a tiny burn, 36.4 meters per second. I will be burning it with the low thrust because I don't want to overcook it. I found that when you're using a flight computer by remote tech, it is fairly accurate and it has a little bit drop off when it comes to close, but I still find it much better if you just don't use the enormous thrust to weight that you would normally have. Okay. Let's return our thrust limiter back because we will need to use that one for the rendezvous. So now at the apoapsis, I just want my periapsis to be touching the orbit of the Kerbin Refuelling station. A little bit, actually less than touching. I want to be intersecting in two places, but that they are as close as possible. And this to me looks sufficient enough. Hold on. Yeah, actually let it be in one place so that it's basically like tangent. Okay, so we will be executing 76 meters per second burn, pumping a little bit on the time acceleration because there is no really point of waiting it in real time. Okay, and execute plan maneuver. My Kerbal alarm clock, it is a nuisance sometimes that you get all these alerts popping up, but trust me guys, if I didn't play with that, I would forget so many burns that basically I should change my, my channel name from GrunfWorks to Failworks. So yeah. Okay, now let's see how close we can actually get it while still securing the encounter. Okay, come on, and here we go. I think that's decent enough, and the rest we can take once we actually encounter each other. Okay, and that burn is supposed to happen in 1 hour and 45 minutes. Doing some fine tweaking. Perfect. Once again, hitting the accelerator because we can. And we are coming. Killing the alert, and now we are ready to take on the burn. I don't know, by the way, why I'm getting 2 alerts. Probably one for the maneuver node and one for executing the maneuver node. I don't get it. Okay, and we are burning. Wobbly a little bit there on the nav ball, but okay. I think that's close enough. We can just manually tweak it a little bit. Okay, and now, I mean, as you know, I'm playing with remote tech, but we are so close to Kerbin that I can actually manually fly this ship. And this is something that I would really need in this case, because I have no bloody idea how I would execute docking with either remote tech or KOS. Which is kind of funny. I mean, I do work as a developer, I just haven't had a chance to really look at it. I don't know why I'm just so scared of it. Not scared, I'm just reluctant to take it on. Maybe in a future episode. Anyway, I'm now just fixing my, target rendezvous. Just aligning the yellow and the pink markers. Or basically our target retrograde and the target itself retrograde. And I'm showing obviously this in a little bit time acceleration. We are going 200 meters per second, which is a little bit fast given the relative distance. But we have a good thrust to weight, so I'm not overly concerned. Okay, physics glitch. And there we go. Okay, 2 kilometers out, and now we're going at sedate 20 meters per second. And I think I'm gonna keep it until we come a little bit closer, just dropping it bit by bit. Okay, so that being said, I do want to actually fold a couple of things, because we will need to be docking with this bad boy, and I do want it to present a small target as possible. So first, let us extend our communitron and shut down our huge antennas, because we don't need them. We are close enough to Kerbin so that the communitron would work. Second thing, let's close off these huge solar panels. I don't think we will be needing them that quickly. I just want to kill off my velocity so that I don't consume all of my electric charge, because Karborundrum engines are a little bit power hungry. So this is the reason for this big solar panels, and I'm obviously taking a couple of screenshots because I think those will be really cool. 11 meters per second, and our refueling station is showing up like a giant. It is. Killing off relative target velocity. When I stop, I want the target velocity to be roughly 0, so that we don't wander off. And one more screenshot opportunity, because, come on guys, this is just beautiful. 2 meters per second, 1 meter per second. And we are 200 meters out, so I think I would actually consider 0.3, 0.2, a little bit more, 0.2, come on, 0.1, and 0.0. I believe this is good enough. I mean, we are not fully stopped, but we are stopped enough. Switching now to this one, and this is the tug I've been talking to you about, guys. So, we will be detaching this guy, the Karborundrum tank. It's a huge tank. And let's just put control from here, and now decouple. Okay, switching to that craft, and now, okay, let's see which way is which. Using our translational thrusters. And then I remembered, well, this craft looks beautiful, but it's awfully positioned for a docking. So, I decided to switch to it and put it, let's say, retract the panels first. That makes it much more manageable to dock. And then I figured, well, why the hell not? Let's put it normal prograde, because that will expose the docking port and turn it directly towards our station. And I'm even thinking of rotating it so that it is even easier for our guy to dock. Because we can. It's a simple enough craft. It's not too big. And yeah. So, good. Now, switching back to our tanker, and let us go and dock with it. I mean, given that this craft is well balanced, it should be simple enough docking. It shouldn't take too long, or at least I keep telling myself. We are 150 meters out, and we have pretty decent thrust to weight, especially with these thrusters, so let us get on with it. I put the velocity of 2.2, we are roughly aligned with the docking port, more or less. And I've already put the yellow peep where it should be for us to get correct translational velocity. So yeah, everything should be kosher. Okay. 50 meters out, 40. Trying to kill a little bit of translation velocity. We don't want to be going too fast. Let's correct the alignment a little bit. There we go. I mean, docking this guy is pretty much a breeze. It's really responsive, it goes quickly, it looks perfect, and it just is. So, a little bit and bump. There we go. Okay, time to transfer Karborundrum from this guy to the other one. Okay, this is interesting. It immediately, balanced itself out. Why? I don't think I have things on auto balance. Okay, I'm getting a little bit nervous here because I'm thinking that this might be a work of a Kraken. So let me just use... Okay, tell you what. We are coming into the shade, which is the situation I would very much like to avoid. So Karborundrum, let's pump out of this tank. Everything out of this tank. Great. Let's pump out everything of this tank. And remember, we need to leave enough Karborundrum for us to be able to return back to the sun. So I was thinking emptying 3 out of 4 tanks, and that should be fine. I mean, what the hell is going on? Look at this. I empty one. I empty the second one. And the first one starts filling in for some reason. Okay. Those 3 are empty, and when they will be empty, I'll just try to transfer out a little bit. Okay, stop. You know what? I'm happy with what I've got. Wait, and now, undock. I think I will have plenty of Karborundrums Delta V anyway. So, I have taken basically 3 out of 4. I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, so time to redock to our mother station. It has drifted a little bit. We have been 200 meters and now it's at roughly 370. So clearly it has veered off a little bit, and I am thrusting as hard as I can to basically realign ourselves. Now I've put everything to balance all. By the way, if any of you guys has any idea why is this happening, why was this happening back and forth, please let me know in the comments below. We are doing well. We are docking with the given with a refueling station. $270. So we are closing to it, but we have drifted quite far, and yeah. So it will take us a little while to get there. I don't want to burn too hard because then we might overshoot it. 195, and I am probably aiming for the wrong port, guys, just to be explicit about it, because I don't know which one is which because they're so close together. But I will be able to tell once I'm actually closer. I will just reset target to a new docking port, so I don't need to care at this moment anyway. As long as I'm coming somewhere in the ballpark, I'll be happy. Okay, 100 meters out, and now I can see which is the correct one, so let's select it. Yep, as you see, it was quite near to it, so nothing to it. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy docking, or at least it should be. Despite a little bit longish flight to it, but then again, I'd much prefer that than risking our Karborundrum Collector bumping into our refueling station and then having all weird sorts of Kraken's Bane. So yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I am more or less perfectly aligned, and then we will be just thrusting forwards. I'll move this docking port alignment indicator a little to give you guys a better view of the station. 30 meters out. "23, 22, 21. And apparently we have less than half of the fuel tank that we could have, but still I think it will be loads and loads of Delta V. Okay, a little bit puff here, puff there, and we should be docked. And okay, a little bit dancing on the docking port, and signed, sealed, delivered. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Karborundrum. And the crowd goes wild. Okay, speaking about it, let us quickly extend our solar panels, because I was getting nervous. I don't want my electric charge, despite the fact I have a metric crap ton of it, to get lost. Okay, opening up my huge satellite dishes, and we are getting ready to once again eject this bad boy back to the low sun orbit of roughly 5,230,000 kilometers. I think it's 5,230,000 kilometers. Normally I would have had the part that I have decoupled, but I made a stupid thing of deleting that component, because I sometimes delete some debris, and this one got deleted by accident. So, sorry about that, otherwise it would be much easier for me to set up, so I had to remember the altitude. Anyway, trying to find the ideal spot to burn, and let us go a little bit out. What I do remember is that it was roughly at the altitude of Moho, so as long as we are roughly in the ballpark around Moho, we should have access to Karborundrum. Okay, just fiddling a little bit until I get this more or less as I want it. Okay, I think that looks good enough. So, flight computer, the beauty of working with remote tech. Hold maneuver prograde. And as you can see, given our thrust to weight, and we are now lighter, our estimated burn will be like roughly 84 seconds. So it's really short burn given the amount of delta V that we are burning. It's almost like the chemical rockets. It's not exactly, but almost. Okay, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And 10. Okay, let's stop it and let us Start the burn. Once again, nod if you approve. Hell yeah. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay. A little bit more wiggle. I don't think it's very realistic, but I believe it's my, like I said, thrust vectoring. Well, not the greatest thing, but what can you do? And also the fact that I am showing this in a little bit time accelerated fashion, so it does wiggle more than it wiggled for me. I just wanted to establish the correct level of wiggledness? Okay, I guess I'm coming up with new words, yeah. I should first learn the words of the regular English and before starting inventing new ones. Oh well, what can you do? And then I'm planning for a second maneuver burn that should hopefully circularize the orbit, roughly. Okay. A little bit of fiddly here and there, but overall I'm happy with the orbit it is, and it is happening in 141 days total. So, one final thing to be done, and that is admire the view. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, and after we leave the Kerbin sphere of influence, I will like to basically close up this episode. So guys, do like if you like the episode. Hit subscribe for more KSP content. It would help me out a great deal. Once again, thank you very much for watching, guys, and do let me know what you think in the comments below. And as we drift out of the Kerbin's sphere of influence, which will be happening in roughly now, I would like to thank you all for watching, and this is GrunfWorks signing off.